What's happening, everybody? This your boy Trey. Welcome to Game Day with Trey, man, and I'm here to give you some breaking news in the NBA on CP3. All right, so this is fresh off the presses, coming straight from Chris Haynes from the Bleacher Report, and he states through Twitter or via Twitter, Phoenix Suns have notified star Chris Paul that he will be waived, making the future Hall of Famer one of the top free agents this offseason, league sources tell NBA on TV at Bleacher Report. Chris Haynes. Now, I don't want to say I told you this was going to happen, but I did hint to you guys and tell you that this was going to happen. All right. Chris Paul is not a fit for what Frank Vogel is trying to do right now. Okay. And it's not because of what he's done in his past. Okay. Which we will speak on that. All right. But it's what his future looks like. Okay. Frank Vogel is a coach that came from LA. He got his chip with LeBron and Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee, defensive stalwarts that he had out there. Okay. Kuzma, you know, it was a squad. All right. It was a good squad. But at the end of the day, you didn't have any people on that team that were 38 up. Okay. And when I say 38, it's not a 38 like LeBron 38. Okay. This past season was Chris Paul's worst season statistically throughout his whole career. He averaged 13.8 points a game. All right. I want to say, how many assists did he average? 8.9 assists a game with 4.3 rebounds. Now, the rebound stat is not bad, but what I want to point to you is the assist. Okay. He did that in roughly like 55, 60 games because he didn't play majority of the season. And then when it came down to the come down in the playoffs, the man was hurt in the end. Now, he has taken the Phoenix Suns to a good, I guess, finishing is the best way you could say it, because he went to the finals one year. He went to the Western Conference Finals one year, and he went to the semifinals one year. So 3 years in a row, he went to, at minimum, the semifinals in the Western Conference if he didn't make it to the actual NBA Finals. All right. So I'm not saying that the man hasn't done some good things out there in Phoenix, but at the end of the day right now, they do have other players. All right. And other opportunities out there. And if you could save the money that you're going to save on the cap for what the person they call the point guard, which I'm going to tell you why I don't agree with that in a second, but the person they call the point guard, you could save some money on the cap and go get you a young buck, and you already have one on staff with Payne. You can let Payne start and go get you a backup and you actually still get the same production, if not more. All right. So, but let's get to this point guard thing real quick. All right. Now, I've always wanted to address this, and now this is finally the opportunity for me to get it out there. Now, you guys, people have been calling him the point guard for years, and I've never understood why. Okay. The point guard would have to average double-digit assists for his career. There's only two people that have done that. That would be Magic Johnson and John Stockton. Magic Johnson averaged, I want to say, 11.3 assists a game for his career, and John Stockton averaged 10.5 for his career. So when you're looking at what he averages or what they averaged versus what Chris Paul averaged, which is 9.5 for his career. Chris Paul's been playing 18 years, 17 or 18 years, something like that. John Stockton played 19. Jason Kidd is number 2 on the list right now, or for all time, and he played 19. Chris Paul is at 17, like I said. You got LeBron, he's at 20. He's the 4th on the list. And then after that, you have Steve Nash, Mark Jackson, and then Magic Johnson. Now, Magic Johnson played the least amount of years out of every single person we named on this list. And when these people passed Magic Johnson, they passed Magic Johnson post the HIV, retirement, and all that stuff there, which ended his career a little too short. So, how does this affect the Phoenix Suns going forward? Well, now like I said, they've gotten rid of Monty Williams, and they do now have Frank Vogel as their head coach. They're definitely going to be moving to have a more fleet of foot team, a team that is bought in to the team aspect and not about the me aspect. It's got to be about the we. He's also a coach that he's good with big men. So that might help Ayton. Also, remember, Ayton and Chris Paul were beefing. I told you about that the other day when I'm sitting here with my son, Tristan. And we discussed the fact that Ayton and Chris Paul were beefing and who they were going to choose. Was it going to be Ayton or was it going to be Chris Paul? Well, obviously, the decision has been made. You already got a coach that's good with big men, in Frank Vogel, okay? Look what he did with Hibbert back in the day. All right, when he was with Indiana, he's a coach that's not going to want to go backwards, and staying stagnant in the same position is like going backwards. Okay, with the emphasis on defense. And I'm sure he will surround himself with some pretty decent coaches to help him out with the offensive end, because that's the only reason they were able to be successful in LA. Remember, he did have Jason Kidd on the staff at that point, and Jason Kidd is a heck of a mind. We all know that. And even though he does have his shortcomings, we all have shortcomings. But the man can coach, and he understands how to get the best out of the players that he has. So I believe Frank Vogel will take this team to the next level. Not sure if he's going to take them to a championship, but getting rid of Chris Paul is probably a good idea. At 13 points, he's at the lowest end of his career possible. He can't finish a season. He hasn't finished a season in all the last 3 years that I just told y'all about earlier. He literally was hurt at the end of the season in all 3 of those seasons. And he was hurt in the regular season throughout all 3 of those seasons. So I don't want to say that it should be over for Chris Paul, but maybe it should. Now, there's some teams out there who could definitely use him. All right. Then he always works with young players. If you look at what he did with OKC when he got traded to OKC, he worked. If you look at what happened as soon as he got to Phoenix, remember, Phoenix was in the doghouse, man. Phoenix has not been a great team for long. Chris Paul went there, and they became a good to great team. He started what they're doing in OKC. He was good when he was in Houston. He can take some young players and give them the confidence and understanding of how to play in the NBA, all right, and how to become winners. So there's a lot of teams out there that could use him. Is he a championship piece? No, I don't think so. I just think that Chris Paul's limitations currently are what hold him back. I think when he was younger, had he had explored better options, maybe if they wouldn't have nixed the trade to the Lakers, and I know it sounds like I'm like pointing to the Lakers on that one, but look, at the end of the day, everybody knows that trade should not have been nixed when he was traded to the Lakers to be with Kobe. I think that would have been amazing to watch. I believe everyone would have liked to see that, but no, the commissioner didn't think the same, so it is what it is. But as I was saying, man, so Chris Paul's a free agent. He's likely to be one of the most sought after free agents this offseason. I don't even know what kind of check he's going to command, but it's not going to be a small one, so you're going to have to pay him. But I would say that any team that he goes to is a contender to make the playoffs, not a contender to win a championship. There are differences, but a contender nonetheless. Something can happen when you make it to the playoffs. And if he somehow ends up not being hurt for the first time in a long time, because remember, he was getting hurt with the Clippers too. All right. Like he was there in the birth of the Clippers becoming or moving towards being a successful franchise. So he's been with the Clippers, helped them become successful with young players. He's been with New Orleans, helped them be successful and as with young players. Then he was with Houston, helped them. OKC, helped them. Phoenix, where everybody thought it was over for him, helped them. So, like I said, man, even if the man's getting up in age and in his latter years, understand this. They call him the point guard because of the way he plays mental game. That's not because of any of his physical attributes. Earlier, I named Magic Johnson as a greater point guard than him. Well, his physical attributes were outstanding compared to Chris Paul's. It was on a whole nother level, physical freak, 6'9", move up the court, play all 5 positions, understood the game, had it up here, could handle the rock, all that. So it's an unfair comparison if I compare him to him. But John Stockton and him, they have a lot alike as far as physical attributes or a comparison on how they attack the game. All right. Yeah. So I think he can help some teams, like I said, but it's all predicated off of his landing spot and what he's willing to work with. Everyone, please remember, he has been known to have an abrasive attitude. So a lot of players don't jive with that. And this young generation is not jiving with that at all. Okay, I got youngsters that work for me where I work. And I'm going to tell you, you probably know some of them. Okay, they just don't, the hard coaching is not their thing. And it's nothing against them. Everybody has a certain way to be worked with, coached, taught, uplifted, but for some reason CP3 he can get them to get better, but he can't get them to get over that level to that next step. So I'm intrigued to see what happens in the rest of this NBA offseason. We hadn't even started it yet, and it's already turning up. All right. I got another report coming to you right after this one. So please be on the lookout, man. I'm going to be hitting you all day with everything that you can think about. We're going to go NBA. We talking NFL. We talking a little bit of golf. We talking a little bit of MMA. We do a little bit of everything here. And as long as I can depend on me, you should always depend on me. Okay? Because I'm going to give you straight facts. Y'all have a blessed day. Stay safe. Like and subscribe, man. Holla at y'all later. Peace.